with newsmakers in town. Focal TV, the best online platform in broadcasting. Focal TV, located at Topo Village, Somalia Drive, Liberia. Be the part and experience the best in online broadcasting. Keep Focal.
Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, wherever you are watching us from. This is Focal Online TV, where we bring you the daily edition of Inside the Print Media. Inside the Print Media is a 45-minute presentation of newspapers that we bring to you, informing you about the happenings within our country, Liberia, and the world at large. This morning, I am your presenter on the daily edition of Inside the Print Media, and my name is Greg Sipa. I'm here with my co-presenter.
My name is Ken Lyndon Toba.
Lyndon Topa is my co-presenter here on the daily edition of Inside the Print Media. We are broadcasting live from Topo Village community along the Japanese Highway, and this is Focal Online TV, where we bring innovation to broadcasting. This morning, today marks Wednesday, August 16, 2023. So today is Ladies' Night. I'm just encouraging all of the females out there to enjoy themselves as you go out today. Please let us continue to preach the message of peace because Liberia is what we have. And in order to protect the peace we have within our country, Liberia, we must do away with violence. So we take a short break. When we get back, we fill you in with information of our local news here within our country, Liberia. But before then, let me review our newspapers we have in studio here for today. We have the Daily Observer newspaper. We have the Front Page African newspaper. We have the Independent Probe newspaper. We have the New Down newspaper. And our international source for today. So please stay with us as we will be bringing you the headlines and the news in details right after this short break. Thanks for watching. If you are watching us live from the diaspora, thanks for watching. Continue to watch our show here as it relates to the as it relates to the daily edition of Inside the Print Media. So this morning, I'm excited having you all here today as we will be bringing you information shortly. Please stay with me as I'll be right back to fill you in with information relating to the Daily Observer newspaper. Thank you.
Focal TV. Bringing you innovation to broadcasting, news, views, comments, and analysis of issues happening in Liberia and the rest of the world. Focal TV, with check and balance, we bring it as it unfolds. Focal TV, bringing you face to face with newsmakers in town. Focal TV, the best online platform in broadcasting. Focal TV, located at Topo Village, Somalia Drive, Liberia. Be the part and experience the best in online broadcasting. Keep Focal.
And my name is Greg Sipa. I'm saying welcome officially to the Wednesday edition of Inside the Print Media. Remember, Focal Online TV is located within the Tupo Village community along the Japanese Highway. This morning, I'm being assisted by my co-presenter. His name is
Ken Lyndon Toba.
Lyndon Toba is my co-presenter here on the daily edition of Inside the Print Media. So, folks, let's look at our source for today. That is the Daily Observer newspaper. The headline reads, Liberia wins second place Best Jollof Rice in West African Food Festival. Liberia wins second place Best Jollof Rice in West African Food Festival. A team of Liberian chefs headed by Woyenge and Femi Joyous Wilson has won second place for Best Jollof Rice in a West Africa Food Festival in Ikeja, Lagos, Nigeria. The team lost first place to the Gambia in a competition of 15 competitors in an event hosted by the Association of Professional Chefs Nigeria in collaboration with the Federation of Tourism Association of Nigeria, the FTAN, and sponsored by Mikey Nigeria Palace. Thanks for all your support, family. Gail wrote on his Facebook page. Unfortunately, we lost to the Gambia in the Best Jollof 2023. We will come back stronger next year. It's been a great experience out here with the Liberian team of great chefs. Thank you, thank you. Kay is a chef executive officer of Chef Aloysius Kitchen, one of the Liberia's most popular fast food establishment. He and Femi Joyous Wilson, proprietor of the Konkon Echo Lodge, were accompanied by Chef Darius Lewis, Chef Ali Bangura, Chef John J. Green, Chef Daniel Dabar, Chef Florence Pay, Chef Rachel T. Collins, Chef Alexander Sauer, and Chef Momo Yama. The West Africa Food Festival objectives. The essence of the West African Food Festival is to celebrate a rich and diverse culinary culture of West Africa and Nigeria in particular. This year's edition of the festival took place from August 9 through 14. Indigenous culinary exhibits, exhibitions, city tours, master lectures, contests, and performances by the participating nations. Culture are some of the highlights of the 6-day meeting. At the event, which feature more than 8 competitions, 4 master courses in food and wine tasting, chef and other food chain operators from more than 10 West African countries, 16 African countries, over 500 participants, and 12 corporate partners took part. Cooking food from childhood. Boyenge, also known as Chef Halocious, said cooking has been a part of him since childhood. He said this is in an email to the Daily Observer. It's like a family tradition thing. My mom is a very great cook, so there's no child or children that grew up in her house that didn't learn how to cook. Mom is one person who loves cooking for people, whether she knows you or not. According to Gay, WAFES is a West African food festival to promote the region's cuisine to the globe. Every year, one nation is permitted to host, and this year, that nation is Nigeria. Yes, it's the biggest food competition on the continent, and this is my second time taking part. But Liberia has been taking part for 4 years now. Being a chef is something I am proud of. Kay added, I love it with a passion and I love cooking for people because it makes me happy. And I am glad that I have people who value what I do and keep supporting my work. Femi Joyous Wilson won the Master Chef Challenge certificate. Femi won the Master Chef Challenge certificate. She described it as a proud moment while thanking her family and sponsors. This is how we move over to another headline on the Daily Observer newspaper. Nimba gets first batch of convicts under new drug law. Nimba gets first batch of convicts under new drug law. Several courts in Nimba County have sentenced several narcotics dealers, addicts, and others after they were found guilty of possession of various banned narcotic substances. The Drugs Enforcement Agency (FDA) has disclosed. Convicts who are 16 given different jail terms, the LDEA disclosed. The Tabata Magisterial Court sentenced 10 people to 1 year each on charges of use of unlicensed substances. Those convicted and sentenced in Tabata include Martin Wayi, Mohammed Kone, Jackie Wonga, Joe Kungwa, and Alfonso Jimmy. Others are Charles J., Charles Ja, Ibrahim Kamara, Ibrahim Gwe, and Francis Kabade. Each of the convicts was also fined US 250 United States dollars and mandated to pay set amounts in government revenue upon the completion of their jail terms. According to the LDEA, the men were arrested with various kinds of drugs, including kush, marijuana, and tramadol. The LDEA Nimba County Commander Thomas Zay also revealed that two other persons were also convicted at the Yekepa Magisterial Court and were sentenced to 1 year each for the illegal sale of heroin. One of the convicts, Cecilia Pay, was sentenced to 3 months for illegal possession of narcotic drugs, marijuana, while Mohammed Sharif was also sentenced to 2 years in Saklipi. The LDEA praised the lower courts for speedily handling the drug cases and coming down with verdicts where the perpetrators were prosecuted. The Gample Magisterial Court, the first lower court to begin the prosecution of the narcotic drugs related cases in the county, has also sentenced two individuals for being in possession of banned substances. Wolier Dan and Chris Woliebe, the LDEAC, were recently convicted. When the courts continue like this, the fight against drugs will yield good results, say. These developments in Nimba could come as a boost for the fight against illegal substances in the country. These convictions are happening just a few weeks after the Controlled Drugs and Substances Act of 2023, commonly called the drug law, was signed into law by President George Weah. President Weah signed the instrument on July 4, 2023, after the national legislature passed the bill following months of deliberations. The new law aims to regulate, restrict, control, limit, or eradicate the illegal exports and exportation or importation, as well as the flagrant use, abuse, and proliferation of narcotic substances within the borders of Liberia. The law, in part, provides penalties for specified offenses such as the unlicensed and unauthorized importation of controlled drugs or substances within the country. The law, for example, states that a person commits an offense if he or she purposely or knowingly imports into Liberia any controlled drugs or substances without a license from the minister. Apart from the cases in Nimba, no other importers or traffickers who are in the main targets of the law have been convicted since the law was signed by the president. The law provides the importers who will be convicted will be guilty of a felony of the first degree and punishable to a prison term of a minimum of 10 years and not exceeding 20 years, consistent with provisions of Penal Code 1, Section 50.5 and 50.6. Meanwhile, traffickers will be guilty of a second degree felony punishable by a prison term of not less than 5 years and not exceeding 10 years, pursuant to a provision of Section 50.5 and Section 50.6 of the Penal Law of Liberia. It is clearly noted that the offense shall be a grave offense and shall not be bailable. As to the matter of bill, the Act states only cash of or cash to the value of the pawn or cash deposit in a bank to the value of the bond as evidenced by a bank certificate. Meanwhile, Nimba County is one of the most populous counties in Liberia, with about 20 administrative districts and 9 electoral districts. The county's huge size is a huge challenge to the LDEA operations, especially when it comes to logistics. The lack of adequate logistics is obstructing our operation. Commander Say said, up to now, we have not received the required logistics. We need to fight against trafficking and abuse. This is how we run over quickly to my colleague here in Studio K, Lyndon Topa, to fill us in with headlines and the news in details from the front. Pitch Africa newspaper.
All right, thank you, Griffin and CPA, for such a beautiful reading this morning. From Fish Africa now, Bennu Masale, Grand Cape representative candidate, reportedly on age constitutionally to contest the election. Bennu Masale, Grand Cape representative candidate, reportedly on age constitutionally to contest the election. A youthful representative candidate of the governing Coalitions for Democratic Change, whose nominations document were previously accepted by the National Elections Commission, is faced with a legal challenge over her qualification to contest the ensuing presidential and legislative elections in Liberia. It can be recalled that an eminent resident of Grand Cape County, District 1, Hossein Samaduva, filed a complaint objecting to the nominations of CDC candidate Bennu Masale in keeping with the new election law of Liberia. Samduva is the chairman of the collaborating political party in the country, while Mrs. Masale is reported to be the daughter of the businessman Adrisa Masare, chief executive officer of the Hardwork Money Company located in Manu River, Grand Cape County. Saduva filed a 3-count petition to the National Elections Commission, claiming that Representative Kennedy has not reached the required constitutional age to contest the election, thereby violating Article 38 of the 1986 Liberian Constitution. 38 of the Constitution states that citizens of Liberia who meet the following qualifications are eligible to become members of the legislature. For the Senate, have attained the age of 30 years, and for the House of Representatives, have attained the age of 25 years. He also complained that Mrs. Masale allegedly obtained a Sierra Leonean voting card and illegally changed her name from Bennu Masare to Bennu Masale to be a part of the process. Last week, final argument in the hearing were held and the ruling suspended by the NEC hearing officer Menduva valid. Conflicting records. However, Front Page Africa managed to obtain multiple documents, including the 2017 voter registration card of Masale. The card clearly shows that she was 18 years, born February 24, 2000, and registered at the center bearing the code 12007. The VR card number assigned to her at the time was 72 60 35 47. She was the resident of Rawville in District 17, Montreal County. Purported document obtained for the Cotton University, where she is reported to be studying public administrations and management, clearly show that she was born on February 24, 2000 and February 24, 1997, respectively. Early April this year, Mrs. Master obtained a voter registration card for one of the voter centers where she is domiciled to participate in the ensuing elections. The acquiring of the VR card is one of the requirements for the nominations of a candidate to contest in the elections. Mr. Masale was certificated and subsequently nominated by the CDC to contest for the representative seat of Electoral District 1 in Grand Cape Mount County. Minutes after receiving her nomination, Mr. Masale took to her Facebook page to throw jabs at her political opponents who were employing strategies to prevent her from contesting the elections. At first, they told us we would not be nominated, that we would be denied participation in this election. What is now clear is that we were appearing on the ballot comes October 10 with a powerful vision of genuine or inclusive change on the slogan, "We are not too young to lead." The naysayers are doubting Thomases who have all rights to discredit our candidacy, for we know it is not easy in situations of undeniable power shifting. She also held an appreciation program in the district of being selected to contest on the CDC ticket. Despite receiving her nomination paper from NEC on July 9, Mrs. Masale had then fully cleared to contest the election due to the ongoing legal case. She has been subjected to threats of intimidation from her act rather since she accepted a petition from some citizens of District 1 in Green Cape County to contest the elections. Mr. Masale is seeking to unseat the district current representative Bob Sheriff. Bob Sheriff, who previously worked at the United Commodities Incorporated, was supported by Mrs. Bezos' fathers, Idrissa Masale, to contest the elections in 2017. However, the pair fell apart due to numerous differences. Since then, Representative Salish and the man who is immensely contributed to his ascendancy of the national legislature have not seen eye to eye. As a result of the differences, Elias and others within the district reportedly convinced Mr. Masari to file a candidate against him and his former best friend and ally to remove him from power for his alleged show of ingratitude. Following months of discussion, Mr. Benu Masale was elected in petition to contest the elections. It remains unclear whether or not the her candidacy could be accepted by NEC as a result of the legal suit filed against her for qualification. Her hope of being four men on the ballot may not be actualized, or lawyers representing her legal interests fight to proffer strong arguments to win the case. Meanwhile, accusing fingers are being pointed to the incumbent lawmaker Bob Jerry Green Cape County, Simeon Taylor's senatorial Hassan Kiazulu of being the mastermind behind the legal proceeding against Mr. Masali. But the accused are yet to respond to the accusations. EPS Executive Director debunks report of his dismissal. The Director of Executive Protection Services, Stroken Rabbit, has described as well as the calculated plan of the lies media report that has been dismissed by President Weah as head of the Elite Security Guard Agency. The EPS is an elite security service that provides securities for the President, Vice President, Speaker, Deputy Speaker, members of the First Family, and other deemed necessary by the President. Last Monday, panelists of the Spoon Talk show claimed that Mr. Rabbit was dismissed by the Liberian leader and replaced with the current Chief of Protocol, Finda Bundu. According to the panelists, particularly Mr. Eugene Fagon, Director Rabbit, departed the country with about 15 suitcases full with unknown items of material shortly after he was relieved of his post by the President. Mr. Fagon, who is currently serving as the campaign team of Unity Party Standard Burial Ambassador Joseph Yuma Boakat, was a former Deputy Minister for Public Affairs at the Ministry of Information, Culture, and Tourism. He was dismissed by the Liberian leader for unknown reasons and departed Liberia for the United States. Since then, he has been serving as one of the panelists on Spoon Talk promoting the former ruling Unity Party. Speaking to reporters at his office on the grounds of the executive mansions in Monrovia on Tuesday, August 15, Director Rabbit disclosed that he still enjoys the trust and confidence of the President. He stated he was astonished when he received barrages of calls from family members and friends expressing concern over the inaccurate news surrounding his dismissal. Last night, I received a number of calls from friends in Liberia that I should monitor Spoon program on the internet. When I went to listen to the show, I heard Eugene Fagon saying that the President was gotten rid of me. He has taken my job and given it to Ambassador Finda Bundu, and in fact, I have left the country. He noted that though he asserted efforts to respond to the allegation via text message to the panelists, they allegedly failed to allow him to clarify why the show was ongoing. Director Rabbit described the allegations as saddened. He claimed that the fabrications of his dismissal by others on the show meant to be hosted by journalists does not argue well for the younger ones in the journalism profession. I want to let you know that I am here. at my office, still enjoy the confidence of
Forgot
President
TV.
Weah, and in fact, I have
Bringing you
been on the
innovation to
campaign trail.
broadcasting, news, views, comments, and analysis of issues happening in Liberia and the rest of the world. Forgot TV. With check and balance, we bring it as it unfolds. Forgot TV, bringing you face to face with newsmakers in town. Forgot TV, the best online platform in broadcasting. Forgot TV, located at Topo Village, Somalia Drive, Liberia. Be the part and experience the best in online broadcasting. Keep Focus.
Application of lies to Liberia, a particular group of individuals is unacceptable to Liberia's growing mobile crisis. He attributed the fallacies to an attempt by some individuals to degrade his professional workings to improve the standards of EPS under the current administration of President Weah. And yeah, everything that was said is wrong, is misleading. It's frustrating that we get people at the level who sit down and just plain lies. And we are working hard, and you can see the rejuvenation and modern standardization of the EPS over the years. This is not an institution where members can run away. We don't run away as security people. Director Rabbit disclosed that he came from the United States prior to being appointed by President Weah to head the EPS. He added that though he has been familiar with going to the leave of break away after 6 years during his days with the UN, his current portfolio does not require that. First, he noted that his trip out of Liberia, which was granted by his boss, President Weah, in recent time, was intended to undergo medical checkup, noting that I went to do what I want to do and came back. That is a shift of the news bulletin back to Grafina for the continuations of local news.
Thanks to you, Kaylin Duntuba, for joining us through and informing us about the happening of our country through our source, and that is the front page African newspaper. Before I proceed with the New Down newspaper, I'm encouraging all of the Liberians who are listening and watching me to please get yourself a newspaper and be familiar and be equipped with all of the information concerning our country, Liberia. Remember, Liberia is what we have, especially as we go through this essential moment within our country, Liberia, as it relates to our campaign arena and our electoral process. Let's get ourselves a newspaper. Let's be informed of the happenings within our country, Liberia. So we now take the headlines from the New Dawn newspapers and the news details. One of the headlines reads, NEC shows candidates of readiness for elections. NEC shows candidates for readiness for election. NEC shows candidates of readiness for elections. News in details. The National Elections Commission (NEC) has assured presidential candidates that all is set for the conduct of the October presidential and legislative elections. The commission held a stakeholder forum with presidential candidates Tuesday, 15 August 2023, under the theme Fostering the Confidence of Electoral Process Towards the Farmington River 2023 Declaration. The forum was held at the Ellen Johnson Sirleaf Ministerial Complex in Oldest Congo Town. NEC chairperson Madam Deviator Brown Lasana said commission has conducted a successful biometrics voters registration, that is BVR, exercise and carried out an exhibition of preliminary voter roll. She added that the commission has released the final registration roll, carried out the candidate nomination exercise, and released the final candidate listings. Madam Brown Lasana detailed that the NEC has launched a nationwide civic voters education, that is the CVE, and the ongoing replacement of the lost and damaged voter registration cards. The NEC boss stressed that the Commission recognizes the role of the United Nations in nurturing a peaceful and sustainable environment in Liberia that will enable the conduct of a free, fair, transparent, and inclusive and credible election. She acknowledged the significant role of the United Nations in providing materials, funding, and enhanced support to electoral activities. Madam Brown Lasana said this gives a sense of honor in an extraordinary way that depends the democracy in Liberia. Earlier, Madam Lassana announced this month that at least over 2.4 million Liberians are expected to participate in the upcoming voting exercise. She reaffirmed the Commission's unwavering commitment to ensuring the conduct of a free, fair, transparent, and inclusive, credible elections. She disclosed further that the NEC will continue to conduct stakeholder meetings at regional levels to have other Liberians acquainted with the electoral process. With this, at the junction, all is set for the 10 October 2023 presidential and legislative elections, she said. The commission will remain engaged and at all levels with the candidates who have signed the Farmington agreement committing themselves to a peaceful election, Madam Lassana said. For her part, ECOWAS Commission resident representative and head of the ECOWAS Commission in Liberia, Ambassador Josephine Kroma, highlighted the crucial issue of security and misinformation. She urged that they must be denounced because they have the propensity to provoke violence. Madam Kuma, on behalf of ECOWAS Commission Head, Dr. Omar Aliu Toure, said the ECOWAS offers a continuous partnership and collaboration with the United Nations on human rights. She reaffirmed ECOWAS' commitment to engaging the stakeholders to ensure the conduct of a free, fair, transparent, credible, inclusive, peaceful election. She urged compliance with the Farmington River Declaration as well as all relevant laws and regulations of Liberia. Also speaking, Mr. Lando Santos Samoa, Special Representative of the United Nations Secretary General and head of the UN Office of West Africa and Sahel, called on stakeholders to exert more efforts towards a peaceful election. Mr. Simoa said the stakeholders forum demonstrates their abilities and commitment toward peace. He noted that the election will mark a significant milestone in the repositioning of Liberia's democracy. He also reaffirmed the UN continuous support towards a peaceful election. He urged that all their efforts, including the signing of the Farmington River Declaration and keeping of the spirit of peace, must be in adherence to the National Elections Commission law. The presidential candidates reassured their commitment to non-violent, free, fair, and transparent elections. This is how we move over to another headline and using details under the New Down newspaper. The headline reads Ex rebel general asks for reward for participating in Liberian civil war. Ex rebel general asks for reward for participating in Liberian civil war. One of the ex-rebel generals that fought the 14 years of civil war in Liberia is calling out his kinsmen in Nimba County to reward him with political power. Ex-rebel General Roland G. Duo says he and other former generals, including the leader of the defunct rebel INPFL Senator Prince Yomin Johnson and defunct MF and NPFL General former Senator Adolfo Seidolo fought in the Civil War and they were rewarded with senatorial seats with PYJ spending 18 years in the Senate, stressing that now is his time to be rewarded by the people of Liberia, of Nimba. Speaking in Nimba during a political rally on Sunday, August 13, 2023, General Dolo, who is vying for the Senate, noted that Senator Johnson fought for only 9 months and has been awarded 18 years in the Liberian Senate for such fights. We all fought and killed people in Liberia, Senator Prince Johnson, who only fought for 9 months and ran away, was awarded 18 years leadership. So there is a need for such leadership to be given to me. Dual comments. This is how we run straight to the independent probe Kelly Topa with just one trending story, top stories, and then we will proceed with our international news for today. But before then, we take a short break. When we get back, we fill you in with the happenings within our country, Liberia, from the Independent Probe newspaper.
Focal TV. Bringing you innovation to broadcasting, news, views, comments, and analysis of issues happening in Liberia and the rest of the world. Focal TV, with check and balance, we break it as it unfolds. Focal TV, bringing you face to face with newsmakers in town. Focal TV, the best online platform in broadcasting. Focal TV, located at Topo Village, Somalia Drive, Liberia. Be the part and experience the best in online broadcasting. Keep focal.
Okay, welcome back, folks. And this is how we officially welcome you back to the daily edition of Inside the Print Media. So we are making some adjustments here. The minute we are done, we bring you trending stories from Independent Pro. But until then, please stay with us as we bring you this inspiring information of our country.
Focal TV. Bringing you innovation to broadcasting, news, views, comments, and analysis of issues happening in Liberia and the rest of the world. Focal TV, with check and balance, we break it as it unfolds. Focal TV, bringing you face to face with newsmakers in town. Focal TV, the best online platform in broadcasting. Focal TV, located at Topo Village, Somalia Drive, Liberia. Be the part and experience the best in online broadcasting. Keep focal.
Okay, Kelly Notaba is here to you for the information as it relates to the headlines and using details from the Independent Pope newspaper.
All right, thank you, Griffin and Stipa. Independent Prop newspaper. Ministry of Commerce and partners launched third phase of Youth Startup Business Plan competition. That's Ministry of Commerce and partners launched third phase of Youth Startup Business Plan competition. The Ministry of Commerce and Industry, in partnership with the Business Startup Center, Monrovia, with support from UNDP through the Livelihood of Employment Creation Project, announces the commencement of the third phase of the Youth Startup Business Plan Competition 2023 cohort for ambitious young people interested in starting up their own businesses. The competition targets 300 youth drawn from 7 counties: Montserrado, Grand Bassa, Grand Cape Mount, Grand Jidep, Sino, Nimba, and Lofa counties, who will participate in 2 days of business skills training and competition of business startup grant at $500 United States dollars. The youth will learn about businesses and financial planning and present their own business ideas to a panel of judges in the hope of securing grant of up to $500 United States dollars. They will also benefit from the coaching and mentorship support when developing and refining their businesses ideas. The competition aims to foster entrepreneurship among Liberian youth, identifying the need and challenges and developing innovative and creative solutions. Submissions of applications begins on August 16 and runs up to August 27, August 2023. It is expected that applicants will come forward with business ideas from all sectors of the economy, including agriculture, information technology, transportation, food processing, manufacturing, health, alongside all value chains about the key sectors. UNDP and the government of Liberia through the Ministry of Commerce and Industry are working to support the development of a strong and vibrant private sector through business development that is aimed at contributing to the poverty reduction and the development of young people and people living with disability. This brings us to a closure of Independent Group. Back to you, Grefina, for the continuation of international news on this network.
Thanks to you, Kelly Lutoba. Time is fast spent, so we will jump on quickly to our international source. Now, source for today is the BBC News. So, the headline reads: Travis King, North Korea says U.S. soldier fled because of racism in army. Travis King, North Korea says U.S. soldier fled because of racism in army. The news in details. North Korea has said U.S. soldier Travis King crossed into its territory last month because of inhuman maltreatment and radical discrimination in the army. The 23-year-old private dashed across the border from South Korea on 18 July while on a guided tour. Private King admitted to crossing illegally and wanted refuge in the north. State news agency KCNA reported. Washington said it could not verify the claims, which are propaganda, and it is the first public comment on the case. They appear in a statement which has so far only been published on KCNA. Concern has been growing for the welfare of the U.S. soldier who has not been heard from or seen since his crossing. The U.S. is trying to negotiate Private King's release with the help of the UN Command, which runs the border area and has a direct phone line to the North Korean army. Responding to the North Korean report on Wednesday, a Pentagon official said their priority was to have Private King brought home safely through all available channels. This is how we shut down on the news segment, both locally and internationally, on the daily edition of Inside the Print Media. Here with me as your presenter, Greg Financy Poir, and my co-presenter, Kay Lyndon Tukba. So we appreciate all of you commenting in our comment sections, and all of you who are watching us live out of the diaspora. We say thank you and happy happy ladies night to all of the females out there. Those who are watching this morning, we're seeing Andy Bukla Chara killing. That's why he's following from in studio and he's using his mic while following. April and Theodore in us part watching from Coca-Cola Factory. Thanks for watching. We appreciate your effort. This is how we close down. We are still preaching a message of peace as media practitioner, saying please. Even experiencing it is harmful, and even witnessing it is harmful. So it's better for us to do the needful. What is the needful? Someone may ask. The needful is to preach the message of peace and to prioritize the peace we have within our country, Liberia. Remember, Liberia is what we have, Liberia is what we got. And in order to protect the peace we have within our country, Liberia, we must do away with violence. Thanks for watching. Don't forget, by 1 p.m. today, we bring you the Focal Women Talk. And of course, I'm going to be your host and I'm going to be driving you through one of the important topics for today, and that is sexual violence. So please join me as I will draw you through some important information that will keep you educated about your life and that of your environment you find yourself in. Thanks for watching. This is the daily edition of Inside the Print Media, and I am your presenter, Greg Financy Poir, and with my co-presenter,
Killing the Tuba.
say have yourself a blessed day and happy with all of you out there. We love you and we appreciate it. Thanks for watching.
Focal TV, bringing you innovation to Bob.